Hi guys, I'm Archibald Chesterfield III, and today I want to talk about five things every man needs. So this is a definitive guide. So fuckers, grab a scotch, take a seat, watch this fucking video, and tell me what you think. Hi guys, how are you? Just in my favourite shop here, a Patek Philippe store in Melbourne, Australia's cultural heartland. So thank you so much. Okay guys, 5 essentials every man needs. What do they need? Well, number one, you need some sort of luxury timepiece. Quick wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing a Breguet Type 20. It's Valentine's Day, so I'm added a bit of the French flair. That's a bit of French flair for Valentine's Day, hence the pink. To remember all the bitches I have fucked before. This is my Breguet. It's a Breguet Type 20 chronograph. You need, by the time you're in your 20s, mid to late 20s, you need a fucking decent wristwatch on your wrist. It's gotta fucking hurt! It's gotta hurt. No fucking ETA, no fucking Squale, Steinhardt, Invicta, no fucking Borman Mercier. You need a decent timepiece on your fucking fat wrist. If you like water sports, a Breitling Super Ocean could be the way to go. Make sure you get the in-house version. You don't want that ghastly fucking ETA fucking shitter. No shitters here, please. We want the real deal. The real deal, fuckers. Another alternative, if you wanted to go for a... this is another very popular choice, which I quite enjoy. It is the Tudor Black Bay Heritage. A heritage diver, look at that. Tudor Black Bay Heritage. It's another classic dive watch. And I've got to say, to be honest with you there, I think that Tudor itself, that is probably the best entry-level luxury wristwatch for any man about town. That is numero uno, fuckers. Another great piece, which every man could understand, of course, is any type of Rolex is a great brand of wristwatch to have there. James Bond, Archibald Chesterfield III. Archibald wore a Rolex numerous times. I've had numerous models. And if you wanted to be if you're a bit of a, if you're a science teacher, Omega Speedmaster, man on the fucking moon. Man on the fucking moon! So, every man, when they're in their 20s, they need a decent, by decent I mean something that if you asked for your wife's permission or your wife or girlfriend's permission should say, oh, that's a bit expensive. We want something to hurt. It's got to hurt. every man must have a very decent wristwatch. By decent, I mean fucking expensive. It's gotta fucking hurt. At least a month's salary, please. Please. No fucking ETA shitters. No, gotta be in-house movements. It's got to be a beautiful timepiece. We need a good timepiece on our wrist. Very important indeed. Number two. What is the number two, fuckers? Number two. What does a man need? I'll tell you what a fucking man needs. He needs a writing instrument. What do I recommend as far as a writing instrument? Well, it needs to be beautiful. It needs to be dependable. I'm using the Greenwich. I use a Greenwich Parker Duofold. This was a special edition for the new millennium. This is probably one of the most comfortable fountain pens I've ever owned. I've owned numerous. I've had a collection of Bonta Grappa. I've had Mont Blanc, but this is probably one of the most beautiful pens to write with. The most important thing about a fountain pen, you want to use Indian ink. It doesn't wash out, and when you get shitty, you simply throw it on the carpet. If you're at a bank and you're not getting your own way, start spraying the fountain pen ink around. It's a bitch to clean out, believe you me. It is an absolute bitch. So every man needs some sort of writing instrument. I do love the fountain pen. I've actually I've streamlined my collection. I had a huge collection of fountain pens, but I've trimmed the collection down to two. I've got my Parker Duofold Greenwich edition, and I've also got, this is one of my favorite writing pens, is a Cartier. It's the Cartier. It's actually the Trinity, the Must Trinity, the 3 bands of gold there. This is a very delightful fountain pen. I love it indeed. Beautiful, beautiful fountain pen, which I really do love Cartier. I must say, I also have a Mont Blanc, which Mont Blanc is a bit cheesy. They make ghastly, pure ghastly timepieces, but this is a burgundy Mont Blanc ballpoint, not the roller ball. I was going to say roller ball, the cap comes off. This is the ballpoint. Beautiful pen, that indeed. I do love that. I love the burgundy. It goes with my Tudor Black Bay, burgundy heritage. Quite a delightful couple of quality. I mean you can have one writing instrument, but it's a very plebeian just to have one. Why have one when you can have many? And my piece of à la resistance, is my Alfred Dunhill. Alfred Dunhill. This is the Alfred Dunhill Millennium pen, which, if you look at this, if you turn it, the line shrinks in. Look at that. It's like a Rolls Royce. Beautifully engineered. Look at that. So it's using, you've got the pen, the clip has shrunken in, and when we close it, it comes out so we can put it in one's shirt pocket. So just a very delightful pen. I love the Alfred Dunhill Millennium. This is in silver, sterling silver. I really do love the Alfred Dunhill brand. It is a very quintessential English brand. The funny thing is, most of the shops for Alfred Dunhill aren't in London. No, they do have a shop in Bond Street in London, but most of the Alfred Dunhill stores are in Japan and Hong Kong. Figure that one out, fuckers. It seems chavs don't buy expensive menswear. It seems aspirational Asian businessmen like the brand. I do like the Britishness of Alfred Dunhill, and that leads to me why someone said, "Oh, why do you collect toy soldiers?" And I've always loved these toy soldiers are from Britons. These are metal hand-painted soldiers. Britons is a very famous English. They are very famous English maker of metal soldiers. Used to be lead soldiers, but they've changed the mix now. Lead's a bit toxic, if you know what I mean there. But I've got to tell you, I've been a huge fan of Britain's metal or lead toy soldiers for years. I'm not copying anyone. This is my own individuality as Mr. Policeman. Oh, Mr. Policeman. And I've got to tell you there, honestly, the toy soldiers. I've had a. I'll show you my first one. This was my first time. My dad went back to England. He got me this Queen's Guard with the bear hat and the sentry box. So I've had this for years, and I must say I do like the toy soldiers. But as I was saying there, the Alfred Dunhill, I'm a little bit sidetracked there, but Alfred Dunhill, one of the great. It's a unique pen. It's just a unique, fantastic writing instrument to have, and I'm very, very proud to have a bit of an ensemble of writing instruments. I know writing instruments are a thing of a bygone era there, and that's true to a certain degree. Yes, I understand. It's iPads and it's all changing, of course, but one should never forget the art of writing, and a beautiful writing instrument is a beautiful thing. Years ago, I had my Montegrappa, which absolutely wrote like a pig, but it was impressive. It was like H.R. Puffenstuff's magic flute. It was a big fucker. Okay, moving right along there, old chaps. Moving right along, and the third thing every man needs. I will bring this out, fuckers. I'll bring this out. This is a very important thing for every man to have. What does he need? He needs. This is. I mean, it's just so sad that it's a bygone era now. Every man needs. What does he need? I'll tell you what he needs. He needs a briefcase. And not just any briefcase, it needs to be a firm, not a soft briefcase, that's for pussies. It needs to be a hard-edged briefcase. Now we'll just take this devil out here. We'll just take it out and let's have a bit of a sticky beak here. This is my briefcase of choice, and I absolutely love, oh mummy, I love my briefcase. I really do love my my briefcase. Very important thing to have there. And I've got to tell you, a beautiful briefcase is a very important thing for every gentleman to have there. This is the Louis Vuitton Epi. This is the first. This green, the Epi green, was the original color of the Epi when it came out in the 90s. This is the leather. I love this leather, and it's a very delightful. This is the Diplomat. This is the Louis Vuitton Diplomat in tiger green, and oh my God, just smell that. You just smell the interior on a, it's just amazing. And it's one of these things. Every man needs a briefcase. Every man needs a briefcase. And I remember when this tiger green came out, and I remember reading Car and Classic Car magazine, and I dreamt about having a a British Racing Green E-Type Jaguar 3.8 coupe, thank you. 3.8 coupe, preferably flat 4 coupe, with the biscuit interior, biscuit leather interior, and putting this briefcase on the seat next to myself. And the Jag never came, but the briefcase did. I remember going into Louis Vuitton in the 90s. In the 90s, would have been 1998. I had a good year. So this is near, well, 20 years ago. 20 years ago, and this particular briefcase was $4,400. That's like, with inflation, 7,000 Australian dollars for a briefcase. And I remember thinking, fuck, that's expensive. But every man does need, he needs a briefcase. You need a briefcase. Why do you need a briefcase? You need a briefcase to hide men's magazines. Men's magazines. You need to hide them somewhere. Where are you going to put your rubbers? Your rubbers. Where are you going to hide your rubbers? Especially if you're a married man, how do you explain having rubbers if your wife is on the pill and you don't want to bring back any nasty diseases? You've got to hide your rubbers somewhere. Now, they may not see that as being responsible. They may see that as evidence. So I strongly suggest you have a briefcase. This is a briefcase which you can lock, seal, and no son of a bitch can get into. So I honestly recommend every man needs a briefcase. They need a briefcase. They need a briefcase. Every man needs a solid, not a soft, a solid briefcase. That is what you need. I'm sorry. This is very important. Every man needs a briefcase. You may not use it every day, but you need to have a safe store for your any stick magazines. Where do you put your rubbers? You need to put confidential documents away, like you're planning for divorce, or you're writing to that lady that we're all, I mean, all gentlemen of sorts are looking for the main squeeze, a multi-millionaire. I mean, you're corresponding with wenches from around the world. You need to have a place to store these gifts that you've received. You may receive a birthday card. You may receive any number of things. And when you're in that initial phase of trying to check out whether she is really fucking rich or just pretending to be, one needs to store these things very sensitively. So every man needs a briefcase. It's very important. It's very important. It's very sad. It was actually the reason why briefcases went out of fashion. It was actually the gay movement, which I do love. I do love gay men, please, by all means. But the gay movement, they sort of moved into man bags, and before you know it, the briefcase was dropped. If only the heterosexual men were involved at the time, it would never have happened. It was just, it happened so quickly. We blinked an eye and it was all over Red Rover. It had all gone pear-shaped, and it's very hard to resurrect the briefcase. Very, very hard to resurrect the briefcase. It's sad. It is honestly, it's a very disappointing thing, but this is the truth about the briefcase. All men need a briefcase. Very, very important to have in this modern age. So please go and smell of leather. Oh my God. Every man does need a briefcase. So it's quintessential for a man to have. And the next item, the fourth thing every man does need, is a pair of sunglasses. Because whether one is motoring, whether one is on an aeroplane, you need to have a pair of sunglasses. And in my case here, there is only one brand. I will, well, there's a few brands, but the brand that I really enjoy is Persol. That's right, the Italian brand. And there's another YouTube goon who pretends that Persol was his discovery, but it was fucking mine. It was fucking mine. And I think Persol sunglasses are the best glasses. Italian glasses. The side markings here tell you these are a pair of Persols. I think they're just absolutely gorgeous sunglasses. These sunglasses were perfected by Steve McQueen in the Thomas Crown Affair. the original Thomas Crown Affair, not the version with Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan interestingly wore a Jaeger LeCoultre in the second one. He was with the Rolls-Royce Seraph. I do like the Pierce Brosnan version, but the Steve McQueen version, of course, is Steve McQueen. Steve McQueen, the coolest man on earth. So Persol sunglasses. These are surprisingly not so expensive. Persol isn't huge. They're not hugely expensive, these glasses. So by all means, couple $100, and they'll last a lifetime. They are quite amazing. Yes, they're owned by Loxo-Fuck. They're owned by that big conglomerate. Yes, Loxo-Fuck. Yeah, that's the way the whole world works. Loxo-Fuck owns all the optics makers. I'm sorry, that is just how life is. But the Persols, I think, are still fantastic. They are great sunglasses to have. I love a pair of Persols, and I think they're the quintessential gentleman's set of glasses. The Persol sunglasses, absolutely amazing. I've had quite a few pairs of Persols, and I do love them. I think they are really, really cool glasses to have. The coolest glass to have, you know. And I always recommend, if you are traveling, if you're on an aircraft, sunglasses, you'd be surprised how bright the plane is. Everyone has the shutters open, and it's just too bright, too glary. Put some sunglasses on, and you find that the trip is far more enjoyable. So I love to travel with these Persols. Have been on to many different continents, and I quite enjoy them. I quite enjoy these sunglasses here. So they're an investment. It also protects your eyes. I don't think you can go wrong with a beautiful pair of Persols. So by all means, go and grab a pair for yourself. Persol sunglasses, absolutely beautiful. So if you don't already have a pair, they are well worth it. Far cooler than Ray-Ban. Ray-Ban is it's for people who think they're cool, whereas Persols are for people who are cool. So I do love Cartier. I had Cartier sunglasses. They were super cool. Cartier was cool, but I gotta be honest with you there. It's Persol, I think, are cooler. Okay, I think they're just, Cartiers are extremely expensive sunglasses, but Persols are just useful. Okay, guys, that leaves us up with number 5. What is the 5th item every man should have? Every gentleman should have? What should they have? What should they have? What should they have indeed? And I was going to pull out a hereditary, where is it? Oops. No, I seem to have lost it. I was going to pull out a hereditary title, but what I think every man should have is a decent camera. And I've got to tell you there, guys, it's camera to be able to use a DSLR camera is a great thing. So I really do think every man should know how to take a decent shot with a DSLR camera. And I gotta tell you guys, I think it's an amazing piece of kit. It's an amazing piece of kit, which is amazing piece of kit. I think you either go, I mean, Canon is too gauche. I wouldn't go Canon. You go Nikon. I think Nikon, the Nikon system is great. Buy a quality full frame Nikon. I do like, I must admit, I have played around with the Micro Four Thirds, the Olympus. I do like the Olympus gear. Olympus has got some good stuff. Pentax, a little bit cheap and nasty, not really, even though they take good shots, I prefer, Olympus is quite nice. And then of course there's the Europeans, which is the Leica cameras, amazing. Be careful, certain Leica models are just rebadged Panasonics, but some of the Leicas are absolutely amazing. Mind you, they're a rangefinder camera, not a they're not like a DSLR. Different system for focusing and viewing. So, but I've got to say, if you want a really good, a really fantastic camera, I love Nikon. Nikon is quality. I mean, this is the camera that went to Vietnam War. The journalists had Nikons. They had Nikons. Really fantastic gear, well made. The thing I love with Nikon is, I think you've got to go full frame. I think full frame is just cooler. You can look down on all those people who have fucking DX. You know, that's the 4/3 cameras. Full frame, using a 50mm lens, it's a 50mm lens. You're using an 85, it's an 85. It's just so cool to do that. So I think every man needs a camera. I mean, you can use your iPhone, but it's not really cool, is it? I mean, let's be honest there. You've met the girl of your dreams. She's got money. Her parents have a lot of money. They want to give you money. Isn't it cool if you could take a nice snap and you knew how to do it? Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be very cool to pull off? And obviously, if she doesn't have money, don't waste your fucking time. Fuck! Next! So, yeah, every man needs to have a decent camera. And personally, I think the Nikon is the way to go. But if you want to be a bit of a hipster, the Fuji X100 that looks like the Leica, I had one of those. They were a very cool camera, great camera. I love that camera. That's another cool camera to get there. So, guys, I hope this has been a guide. 5 key things every man should have. Every man should have. So I want you to tell me what you think. Tell me what you think of the choices. Did I get it wrong? Should something else have been on there? Tell me what you think. I'm Archibald Chesterfield III. Tell me what you fuckers, you lousy, miserable fuckers, think of that. Nice one, Arch. Great vid.